Did you know that for this movie, Lady Gaga was originally considered for the lead role of Eve Macaro before Ana de Armas was cast? So I've been very excited for this movie. It's at the top of my list for most anticipated movies this year. I'm a big fan of Ana de Armas. I'm a big fan of the John Wick universe. So those two things right there were enough to get me really excited, really intrigued for this movie. I have three things I liked about this movie, and my last thing is definitely my favorite. First thing I liked about this movie was the story and the characters. So the story, it's pretty generic, nothing super crazy. Getting a little more backstory into Eve Macaro's character. We were introduced to her character in John Wick 3 Parabellum for a very short amount of time. Unity Phelan played her in John Wick 3. I don't know why they didn't bring her back for this one, but Ana de Armas stepped in for that role. But now we get like a whole story on her. You know, she's like the female John Wick, basically. Like, she has her own tragedy, her own journey of becoming a top tier assassin, getting advice from John Wick in the movie. I really loved how this movie is right in between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4, so we get to see Keanu come back as John Wick for a good amount of time in this movie, actually. Like, I really enjoyed that part of the movie, where the interactions, but also them fighting, but also John is also helping out in a way, helping Eve get her revenge, because he understands that better than most. So I thought it was a pretty solid story. Like I said, there's nothing complicated about her story. It's pretty straightforward, pretty generic, but I like her character a lot. And I think, they were, leaning heavily into the ballerina type thing because she's Ruska Roma, she's part of the ballet. We got to see Anjelica Huston reprise her role as the director, which was awesome. Love seeing her. There's some great interactions between her and Eve. Just the whole idea of Eve Macaro, who her father was, the mystery surrounding who they are, the Kiki Mara, the symbolism of that. Just lots of things to explore, and just her character and like what she goes through. How we start to really love her character, like really start cheering for her. I did like the character of Daniel Pine. We got Norman Reedus in this, which was awesome. I really loved his character. I actually felt he was quite underused. I actually wanted more scenes with him in it. The scenes we did get him in was great. I do hope that he's utilized in the future. The cult is definitely going to be coming back sometime in the future. I did like the cult too. I like kind of the mystery behind them, the relationship they have, the Ruska Roma. Once again, building on that John Wick universe again, expanding more and more of that. The Ruska Roma is just such a cool, dangerous organization, but like the cult is, even more mysterious too. So there's a lot of things that could happen with the future of the John Wick universe. I know there's a lot of question marks right now. John Wick 5 has been greenlit. We don't know anything other than that it's been greenlit. I don't know what's going to happen with Eve. She might be in John Wick 5. We might get something else with her, maybe a sequel. She might get her own trilogy or whatever. I know we're getting a spin-off movie about Kane with Kane from John Wick 4. Donnie Yen is reprising his role as Kane. Other than that, I don't know any other John Wick spin-offs or any other movies in the works right now. It's like I said, there's some question marks going on right now, but I'm really excited for the future of this whole franchise because they definitely laid some good groundwork and they have a lot to work with too. The second reason, and definitely a big reason for me seeing this movie, is I knew the action would be top tier because Chad Stahelski did have some things to do with the movie. I know Len Wiseman was the director, but Chad Stahelski actually ghost directed the movie for like 3 months, and he had a lot to do with the fight choreography going on in the movie, which you could tell if you've seen the movie, you could definitely tell. And when you do see the movie, you can definitely tell there's a lot of Chad Stahelski's style of fighting in the movie. It stands alone with some action scenes, some fight scenes where it's like, okay, when you think of this fight scene, you're going to think of Ballerina. Like, Eve's character specifically has some moments in the movie where it's like her own style, there's her own fighting, especially the flamethrower scene, but there's a lot of the scenes in the movie like, okay, it's kind of familiar, but she's got her own thing going on. And then, of course, there's a lot of homages to the previous John Wick movies. There's a club fight. There's the plate scene was really funny, but that also was like that was a homage to John Wick 3, the knife throwing scene, car stunt, which was awesome. There's been a bunch of car stunts in the John Wick movie, so that was a homage to that, but The one that really stands apart from all of them is the flamethrower scene. That really goes to show Eve's character in a great way. And of course, the sword fighting, John Wick 4, don't know how much there. But like I said, all around, the fight scenes in this movie were really, really good. I was very, very happy with what we got. And that leads me into my favorite scene in the movie, which was the flamethrower scene. Not only flamethrower against flamethrower, but flamethrower against water hose. That was just the creativity and just how many different things you can use in a fight in an action movie, and just like beat the crap out of someone with whatever you have. But it was very symbolic. I have a feeling like it was just like a symbolic thing. The flamethrower scene is definitely like the climax, really. I absolutely love that scene. My favorite scene of the entire movie. Absolutely ridiculous, but if you've seen any of the John Wick movies, the flamethrower scene should not really catch you off guard, because we've seen crazier things than that in the John Wick movies. But that's definitely, I think, going to be a big staple for Eve's character, is that flamethrower scene. So I highly recommend go see Ballerina as soon as you possibly can. So for Ballerina, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 Mudflaps, and remember to leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What are your hopes for the future of the John Wick universe? See you soon.